Guys, let's have a quick delve into electric vehicles and what risks do they pose at home when charging. So I found this article on Insurance News regarding the electric vehicles and charging at home, and a Chubb risk consulting officer was offering tips on how to mitigate exposures to EVs and them charging like within your garage, and the possibility of a fire. Now, before we go on to cars, I was just listening to this the other day on the radio regarding phones.
Not to get in the habit, and because it's been a common issue that many electronic devices, lithium-ion batteries, do tend to potentially smoke, catch on fire, and if you do need to replace it with a third-party wire, be very cautious, because yes, they will very likely, if you do it over time, they could get splintered, could be broken, they could cause a major electrical problem. So dryer fires is one problem. The second one is, make sure you don't plug in your electronic devices at night to charge.
So I thought that was pretty interesting regarding phones. But what about cars? You might, if you have an EV and you put your car in your garage and you plug it in, that's a lithium-ion battery on charge overnight while you're asleep in the house. So let's have a look at this article. So the article starts off with, as more car buyers drive EVs off the lot, it's important that they understand the different risks that these vehicles pose to their homes and properties, according to Jenny Norton, Executive Vice President and Risk Consulting Officer from Chubb. The first thing EV owners must consider is how they're going to charge their vehicles. There are two common types of home charging solutions. Level 1 charging is a straightforward plug-in of the EV into any standard 120 volt outlet. This requires no electrical modification, and it typically takes about 20 hours to reach a full charge. Meanwhile, Level 2 charging units are sold separately from the car and require installation by electrician, as they are plugged into a 240 volt outlet, which allows for a much faster charge. Now the article goes on to say, if there is damage to a lithium-ion battery, it can produce thermal runaway and increase the risk of electrical short and fire. Norton emphasised it is good practice to make sure that you are bringing your car in to be properly maintained per the manufacturer's guidelines. So if you own an electrical car, make sure you get it serviced because you've got to have them batteries checked. What they'll do is they should really check the voltage in each of the batteries using a computer, and if you have an issue with one of the batteries, they could change that one battery, but they might have to change the whole pack. But as far as I'm aware, some manufacturers, they can change the little lithium batteries that are in the pack. And when they talk about the thermal runaway, remember we were talking the other week about that ship that was full of cars and 500 were EVs, and the whole ship just went up and they couldn't put the fire out. You don't want that at your home, in your garage now, do you? So it goes on to say that those carrying out the maintenance need to be certified to work on EVs, and they need to inspect the quality and condition of the lithium-ion batteries. That's just what I was saying. They must have some kind of way that they can check each one of the little batteries in the larger pack. As for insurance, while homeowners are not required to notify their insurance if they purchase an EV, they are not being priced any differently if they do, I suspect, by underwriters at this point. There is some useful information that homeowners should share with their agent or broker. I guess what they're saying is that you should really tell your insurance company that you have an EV car, and at the moment they're not going to charge any more for your insurance. But what happens when the cars are mandatory and you can't buy a gas-powered car? Will insurance rates change? Will there be more fires in homes or on driveways? Time will tell. Till next time.